Wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. I'm currently in Vancouver Island, 6 in the morning. Fiona, welcome to the session. Jane, welcome to the session. We have had Fiona several times before on the Colloquium and on the Coacharya platform. Fiona has been a mentor of mine, supervision, coaching. She is, I don't want to embarrass her, she's one of the most brilliant coaches that I've known. Derived tremendous value from interactions with her. She has taught me refinements in mastery level coaching that I wasn't aware of before. So we have Fiona again today in conversation with Jane, and her brand, as probably many of you know, is transpersonal coaching. That's what she specializes in. And today she's going to talk on relational coaching, mindful coaching, various aspects of coaching which are deeply personal, deeply transpersonal. So I leave you to Fiona and Jane. Thank you both.
Thank you, Ram. Jane, shall we both unmute now?
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah. Lovely to see you. It's always lovely to see you, Jane. Thank you. So we talked a little yesterday, because we've been talking a lot about the book we're writing together. And we talked yesterday about how we might work together today. And although my memory is not all that good, I do remember you said, I know, you said you would start by leading us through some quiet time together so we can come into one another's presence. Thank you.
Okay. So, as I suggested to Fiona, we would spend, I would offer a 2 or 3 minute guided mindfulness practice so that we can just all settle together, let go of whatever we were doing from the day, or Rama, you just woken up, so perhaps enabling you to settle more into the present moment. And then Fiona and I will begin with our conversation. So I'd like to invite all of you to just check your posture for a moment, how you're sitting at this time. Notice if it feels comfortable for you. And maybe you become aware of some tightness in your shoulders, or perhaps you're crossing your legs and there's some discomfort that's producing. I'd like to suggest that you move your posture now and find one that's really comfortable, where your body can relax, where you can feel more at ease, but where you can feel that you can concentrate, because of course we're going to be spending the next 90 minutes together, or a little bit less now. We've spent the last 5-10 minutes together. But, we're going to be spending some time together engaged in dialogue, and you're going to be doing the listening and asking questions. So let's let all of that go for now and settle into a sense of our feet on the ground. So noticing that your feet are touching the ground. And is it possible to feel that contact with the ground? Noticing perhaps the temperature of your feet. Are they warm or are they cool? And moving from paying attention to your feet as they are right now, and noticing that your body is resting on whatever it is that you're sitting on. And beginning to connect with a sense of how that feels, where your body touches the chair or the sofa or the ground or whatever. How does that feel? Can you feel a slight pressure, the contact? Maybe you notice some tingling in that contact or some warmth. So bringing your attention into a sense of your body sitting. Now moving to notice that you are breathing. Perhaps you notice your chest rising and falling as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Just noticing the breath. This can help to settle the mind connecting the mind with the body in the present moment. Just feeling your body breathing. The in-breath and the out-breath. Settling. And then once again, moving from the breath to connecting with your feet as they touch the ground. Feeling the solidness of the ground beneath your feet. And then if you did close your eyes, opening your eyes, or if they're still open, that's okay. And let's just slowly move out of this short grounding and arriving practice. Okay. And I'm going to hand back to you, Fiona.
Thank you, Jane, very, very much. I needed that.
Me too.
I think we were rushing about this morning.
Yeah.
I went shopping and I got to the checkout and I realized I couldn't find the shopping list. It was at the bottom of a bag full of shopping. So I unpacked everything and there was the list, and there were a couple of things I'd forgotten. So I rushed across and got them. And the woman at the checkout, I know her because we always chat when I go, and she was so sweet. She said, "Oh, so lovely to see you." And of course it makes all the difference, you know, doesn't it? I'm mentioning that because I am forgetful and I do daft things, and well, that's how it is. So what we're going to do, Jane, you and I, and we talked a bit about this yesterday, is explore the journey of our relationship, our working relationship, that has become so healing and transformational for us both. And we really wanted to share this. And we thought we would perhaps make it engaging for us both and for our participants here with us to hear the phases of our work together. And I'd love you to begin.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I think that the best place to begin would be when I first met you, Fiona. Because I'd been coaching for about a year, and I was looking for a supervisor. And I think I was initially attracted to you because you had a very strong psychological background as a therapist and transpersonal therapist. And so I was attracted to that. And then we met at that hotel in Euston, these many, many years ago now.
13 years ago.
Oh, it's a long time. Gosh. Yeah. And then we began our work together. So, yeah, I remember when I first met you, how I got this sense of, it's going to be okay with her. It's going to be good. Okay, just this intuitive sense that I was in safe hands, and that I could potentially learn a lot from working with you. So that I remember that quite distinctly.
Yes, I remember it too. My overriding concern was to let you know how clever I was.
And indeed you are, Fiona.
All my qualifications. Oh, I feel slightly shy admitting that, but that was the case. I was fairly new to coaching supervision, and I'd not long moved from Edinburgh to live near London. I was anxious to build my practice. And I remember thinking when I looked across at you, oh, how wonderful, she's chosen me. Having no sense then of just my need to impress you. When I think now, it's just wonderful to remember that vulnerable state I was in.
And of course, we know from our reflections together that it was a shared vulnerability.
Yeah.
At that time, that was actually unspoken, but also both of us had perhaps some degree of awareness of that vulnerability, but a lot of it was hidden to our consciousness or awareness.
That's right.
And that slowly revealed itself in our conversations and dialogues over time.
Yes.
And I think that's a very important piece, that we, from the onset, we were beginning to create the conditions through our relating for this material to emerge from the unconscious into awareness,
Yes.
to then speak it, to name it, and it's that which begins this healing process, and it's that transparency, that honesty, that openness that can be transformative.
That's so much my experience, and I know it's yours. You've just spoken of it, and you're right. There was some sense of it around, but it was hidden from us. And at some point, we say in our book, our chapter, that it was a kind of unconscious dance between us.
Indeed.
Will we, won't we join the dance? Meaning the dance of vulnerability, I think. And the fact that you felt that you were going to be safe with me, I think, was that what you just said? Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm with you, and I think at some deep level, there was a whole other agenda waiting to emerge.
Indeed, yes.
And you were a mindfulness practitioner, I was a meditator, still am. And I know, actually, even from day one, that was kind of around, but waiting to emerge. And so I think that's so intriguing, actually, that as we've written about this and are speaking of it now,
yeah,
there's all that going on, just
absolutely
below the surface.
I think when I'd met you, I had just I was quite new to my practice, and I hadn't yet started my master's degree at Bangor University in mindfulness yet, and I had yet to discover the relational practice, meditation or mindfulness practice of insight dialogue. So, which had a profound effect on me, and I know that it had a profound effect on you as well.
Yes.
In the work that we've done. So, those early days, I had spent years in therapy, done some therapy training. So, and also as a coach, it's important to be self-aware. So there was, of course, some degree of self-awareness with both of us.
Yes.
But mindfulness, as it began to appear or become more part of our work together, and our own practices of mindfulness increased our capacity for awareness, for self-awareness, for awareness of the other, for awareness of the relationship too. The dynamics, the emergent dynamics of a relationship. That's when things began to cook. Good and proper.
Woo! It certainly was a good cook. Yes, a good cooking. I love that. And the ingredients, ourselves, our learning from one another about what it was like to be really present in the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for me, and I remember telling you the story of my helpful Harriet, the part of me that wants to be helpful and comes rushing in at times to fix and sort and teach. You know, and I'm a surviving academic. You know, I love teaching, and it's quite hard not to at times. And I told you about Harriet. She wasn't here. She wasn't here. And do you remember what you said?
Well, I remember. Well, this is interesting because this is an example of the dance that we. Excuse me, I can get comfortable. The dance that we took on together, the unconscious dance, and that was that. As soon as your helpful Harriet came out and you began to speak in this very eloquent way about psychological approaches or models or whatever, or processes, this little part in me, this young part, this young Jane, began to do this. In other words, it triggered a young part of me that was afraid and became very intimidated by you, by your knowledge. So helpful Harriet emerged, and then I became this scared child in response to helpful Harriet. And of course, the scripting that I developed as a little girl was that I was not intelligent enough. And because of that, I was not lovable. And so, of course, that began to resonate. And so here we were in the dance, and neither of us spoke it. And I was aware of discomfort, and maybe you were aware of some discomfort, but it was like, like that in our first few months together.
Yes, it was.
When Helpful Harriet came in, of course, there was benefit to hearing what Helpful Harriet had to offer, because she offered a lot of good stuff. So I learned a lot from her, and it triggered my deepest core belief. That I wasn't smart enough, that I wasn't good enough, essentially. So, and that was disempowering for me. And I think it's such a significant piece in learning, because we can't learn when we are in flight fight.
That's right.
We can't learn. And I was in flight fight there. I was on the defensive, protecting myself, hiding a bit, or hiding a lot, actually. So that you wouldn't see this vulnerable part of me. I wanted to hide that. So, and these were the dynamics that were playing out in the early time of our relationship.
That's right. And of course, what I wasn't aware of was how my Helpful Harriet was a defense against my uncertainty, that I wasn't clever enough, I didn't know enough. I wasn't actually okay unless I was being helpful and kind. Straight out of my troubled family, my childhood story is full of that. So there we were, dancing together with our vulnerability. Hanging on in there. Don't let me be seen for how vulnerable I am.
Exactly.
What will happen if I do?
Yes.
So what happened?
There came that day, Fiona. That day. There was that one day.
I remember it well.
Where, and I think I'd been probably meditating for a year by then. So I was beginning to develop this muscle, this inner muscle of courage and of greater awareness, and of the capacity to regulate or manage my emotional state, such that I wasn't overcome by it. So I was able to recognize, oh, here I've been triggered again, and it came clearly into my awareness, and then I chose to speak it. That was a pivotal moment for both of us, when I actually remember saying, Fiona, when your Helpful Harriet comes out, or when you offer me models and whatever, I can't remember exactly, so I'm just struggling for words now. I feel not good enough. I feel small, I feel disempowered, and I feel shame. I can feel that now. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like, oh.
I feel tearful listening to you. Oh.
Yeah. Let's just pause here for a moment, because it feels interesting to, as I name that, the tenderness is still there.
Me too.
So there was something in me that said, or that recognized that this co-created set of conditions that we were both in, this relational field that we both co-created, was not supportive for me, and is probably in terms of my being able to learn as much as I could from you, to get as much from my supervision with you. And I took the risk in service of that.
Yes. And
also in service of being more true to myself too, and coming out from behind the mask and saying, Fiona, this is how things actually are for me now,
And, bless your dear heart, because it was an absolute breakthrough for us both. I've still got tears in my eyes right now.
Yeah, I still feel tenderness in my chest. Yeah.
So powerful. And of course that enabled me to say, me too. And what a relief that was. Stepping out from behind my persona. The recovering academic. I so needed that role at one time. I so
Yes.
needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, well, let's face it, I was quite good at it, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course. And it allowed me to hide
Yes. Yes.
from the part of me that didn't quite believe I was good enough.
Yes.
So we had this breakthrough. Phew.
Yeah.
Shoulders could drop, breath could deepen. And I just, it was fabulous. Never have believed how fabulous it could be to
Yeah.
be real.
Absolutely. I do remember the time when I took that risk. I had no idea how you would respond, Fiona.
It was a risk.
Yeah, I took a risk because you may have become very defensive, and then the relationship might have had this big rupture, which may or may not have been irreparable.
Yes.
We don't know,
Yes.
but you responded in a way that was open-hearted. And that so we were in the dance together, you know. So
Yes.
we both co-created that's transformative moment.
Yes. Yes.
There was capacity in both of us. My courage to speak my truth, your courage to respond from a place of your vulnerability too.
So that was a key part of that early phase of our relationship building. So we were on such firm foundations after that.
Or much firmer, should we say? Because I think over the years it's got stronger. That was the first step. And so like, nothing. It's not all okay right now, but we're more in the open with each other.
Yes.
Like we are more able to be present with each other, to be more vulnerable and honest with each other.
That's a better way to describe it. Yeah. More firm. Firm enough for the time being. Because there's more to come.
Oh yeah.
So what about our next phase? What were we able to bring, as it were, to our dialogues? What began to increase our capacity to stay present and open?
Well, you know, as you speak that, I'm now aware of the sense of, just for that moment, my eyes went to the...
Yeah, I saw something.
Yeah, so there was a slight moment of, yeah.
Okay, I've come back and you've come back.
So, yeah, just distraction, the beauty of distraction. That's what happens with the mind. It gets distracted so easily. Visual. Visual. So put that aside now and come back to your question. So I was about to say, let me just reconnect. I think that touching in again on mindfulness, that we had been working together, was it 3 years or so? 2 to 3 years, 2 years maybe before we had that breakthrough. Do you remember chronologically, Fiona?
You mean that well, I think I can't remember.
Okay. All right.
It happened.
Yeah.
After a while, we could say.
Yeah, that's good enough, I think.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, there's something here for me just remembering something, thank goodness, that was to do with how we were progressing individually as persons, if you like. And I know you were on your course at Bangor studying mindfulness and all the various facets of that that I was to learn a lot from.
Yes.
Because I became your supervisor for one of the modules you did.
You did, yes.
And then I went back into my tutor role. Do you remember that?
I do.
Oh.
It was interesting, and I think this is an important piece to say, Fiona, that when we first started out together, we both held particular roles.
Yes.
I was the role of the supervisee and the learner, and you were the role of the supervisor and the expert.
Yes.
And we held those roles dutifully. And
Very
we did them
beautiful.
really well. We did them really well, didn't we? Until that moment when we had that breakthrough. And then something happened to those roles. We became less identified with them.
Good word, good word.
So yes, there was still this relationship, but I think the balance of power shifted, because before you held the power, not wittingly, it just happened. It was something that was unconsciously, that we were unconsciously collaborating with.
That's right. That's right.
So that's such that this was set up in a relationship. But then when we had we had that self-disclosure, both of us, we began to soften the boundaries of these roles.
Yes.
And we started to become more human together.
Yes, yes. I do recall actually now feeling the relief of that, because I espouse power sharing, politically in every which way. And once I could let go of my need to be powerful, which was a defense,
yes,
then we could share and learn with and from each other.
Exactly.
And what I'm now wondering, because I'm remembering that little flash of Ram saying something, whether there's some comment or question you would like us to address. Should we take a break from?
Yeah, let's just read what Ram is saying.
I'm going to
To
read.
observe the interplay of sharing what Jane and Fiona say. Okay, that's a lovely question. How does role reversal play into supervision exchange, taking risks to reverse roles? Lovely.
Yeah.
So how would you interpret that question, Fiona?
It seems to me once we can role reversal, once we can look at the power play, almost in any relationship, we are then open to the possibility that we can be human beings together.
Yes.
And be safe with each other. So we're not hiding anymore.
Yes.
And this is wonderful possibility for learning in that safety. In fact, without safety, I don't think there's any learning. Well, not much. Maybe a repeat of something, but not deep learning. So that would be my comment now. What do you think?
What I'm interested in is this reversal of roles. Because says how does role reversal? So maybe correctly or incorrectly, the way that I'm interpreting that is that actually I'm not quite sure. Really, I'm not quite sure what that means. But my sense is that this evolution of our relationship moves from this traditional or classical role of supervisee and supervisor, where the supervisee is learning from the supervisor, to a more post-conventional view of a relationship where the roles become really softened, and we in some ways we don't really inhabit those roles, but there's a broader context of learning, and yes, you're still my supervisor and I'm still the supervisee. However, we are learning from each other.
Yes.
I think that's the key thing. Rather than me learning from you, there is this open recognition and spoken understanding that we are learning from each other.
Yes. So that mutuality is key.
That's
so
it.
It's perhaps not quite a reversal, but an opening out into, as you said, the softening of the role edges or something.
Yes.
Because actually, when we stay in role, we're missing something, aren't we? We're missing other options, other possibilities, because we're kind of constrained.
Yes.
I get so impatient when people talk about boundary violations. I think, oh, come on. Let's be real, folks.
Yeah.
because but the phrase boundary violations makes me squirm, because it seems to me about defending one's powerful position.
Yes.
I mean, I'm willing to be challenged on that, but that's what happens. It's a
Yeah.
squirmy phrase in my book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that,
Yeah.
Fiona.
So thank you, Elaine, for the question.
Yeah, lovely. There was quite a lot to think about. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Is there something else? Do we need to pay attention to, Ram? Let's see. Oh, is there something? Okay, so as you were.
Please run.
Yeah, Fiona, I mean, what I really wanted to point out to people who are watching us, one of the things that I learned, and I to a large extent, I learned from you as well as Eva, who worked with you during my supervision days, as to how to incorporate the coaching model, its supervision model, especially a 7-eyed model, into the coaching model. And I found the greatest value for me came from a deeper interpretation, understanding of what the 6th eye was. I know that you are in a stream of consciousness, both of you talking, and that's why I wanted to point out to people, especially the cohorts that I work with, where I make this differentiation, and how, for me, the conversation that you have, the most powerful quality that comes out of it from a coaching perspective is that of presence. So how deeply present both of you are, how mindfully present that both of you are. So I just want to make 2 very, very quick observations. One is, if only coaches can let go their fear, as you say, move into that space of safety as coaches, not just as, I mean, they are probably very good at sort of observing, deeply listening to what the client is saying and feeding it back into the client. But how often do they take the time to self-reflect? And as you are doing here, observe what is happening, the what's and all, and that expression coming out with a view to help the client with unconditional positive regard. I mean, when you are able to do that and leave it as a question and perhaps as a potential learning from the client, then automatically the quality of that interaction, be it supervision, be it coaching, enhances to a level which is phenomenally higher. And that is something I really wanted everybody in this audience to understand, because it doesn't happen too often. We are all so focused on a specific outcome, moving towards it, whereas in this conversation, it's just a stream of consciousness. It's just moving along. And the second one, you know, I poke fun at mindfulness. And I talk about mindlessness. It's not because I don't believe mindfulness is not, because I think mindfulness is absolutely essential, as because we are all in a state of complete ignorance of what we are doing, observing ourselves. We are all couch potatoes, just feeding fries into our mouth and watching rubbish on TV, and that's what we do all the time. Even that first state of deeply, like what Jane took us through in the beginning, very, very simple exercise. How are you sitting? Can you sit a little bit better? How are you breathing? What's happening with your body? And if that awareness starts happening at the very first level, and then gradually you can move beyond that awareness into a state where what I would call mindlessness. And so people keep telling me that you always move into this mindlessness wherever you get the opportunity. The point is, yes, I do. But what I also want to emphasize is, without a firm foundation of mindfulness, it's impossible to move into mindlessness. Any advanced meditation, be it Vipassana or Yoga Nidra or many of those meditation techniques, with many of you may be here aware, they all start with breath awareness, body awareness. And unless we master those states of awareness, we cannot move in beyond. In the same way, in a way, forcefully, maybe inauthentically interpreting that, incorporating it within coaching and the conversation that you are having, that foundation of the ability to observe and share what's happening with the other, and then observe and share what's happening with me, that creates a foundation for us to move out into a much larger space of whatever the stream of consciousness that is happening.
Yes.
So I'm rambling a bit. I'll stop here, but I just wanted to convey that as something. And as you go along, perhaps I know it is. I mean, given that there's a lot of people out here who might really benefit from what you're doing, maybe point out a few things that you are probably doing deliberately, but making it seem so natural that it's easy to miss that what you're doing is with a very, very clear purpose to sort of convey a process that needs to be understood by everybody here as a coach and a supervisor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you.
Thanks, Ram.
Gosh, I'm noticing a question on trust. And should we talk about that together, Jane? Because it's such a core element that needs to be there to underpin dialogical work, doesn't it?
Yes.
Would you like to comment on that?
Yes, I will comment. I just want to go back to something that Ram said to make sure that I'm very clear.
Okay.
And then I'll comment on that. Because what I heard you say, Ram, is that you would appreciate, you're observing Fiona and my dialogue, and it seems seamless that there's this emergence happening of conversation. And you're wondering whether we're actually, there is a set of skills that we are consciously or otherwise employing here, that and perhaps you would like us to make that explicit for whoever's online with us, in relation to their relationship with their supervisor, or if they're supervising as well, and their relationships with their coachees. Do I have that right?
Yes, but let me add this so that I'm making myself clear. The two of you in conversation, you are at the level of, to put it in a cliche format, the unconscious competence.
Yes.
And that unconscious competence has come through the various other learning stages of, like Fiona talked about at a point in time,
Yes.
observing what I did wrong, how do I correct that incompetence, conscious, and so on and so forth. Now, even if you had not intended it as something that people can learn from, I'm just wondering if it is possible. As you go along, maybe notice saying, hey, this is something that's happening out here. And is there something that people can learn in terms of enhancing their own capabilities, in terms of coaching competencies or supervision competencies? Because sort of being in the flow of your conversation and admiring the way that you are talking to one another, it is very easy to miss the details and just be, carried in the flow, which is fantastic. For someone like me, I can sit here and listen to you. But I would also like the people who are here who are in stages of learning. And one of the most difficult things that I have found for coaches to understand, they seem to think that coaching competencies do not allow the coach to express fully what the coach feels, because that could be potentially be leading. That could be potentially be seen to be judgmental. Now, how do we present what we genuinely feel as the sixth eye lens point of view in a way that is non-judgmental, non-biased? It is mindful at the same time, it's mindless, because it's not about my ego. When I say mindless, it's really egoless, with no judgment at all. So that is something people can truly, truly learn from the conversation that you're having, because that is one of the things I learned from Fiona. And so as a tribute, I would like that to happen in this particular case. Okay, so I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you. That's lovely clarity. Thank you.
Lovely, Jane, that you picked that up and Ram's been able to amplify it. So, you were starting to say.
I think I've changed tack. So I was going off in that direction. Now I'm thinking, based on what I just heard Ram speak, I want to say something else and
Okay.
come back to you. So I really heard this piece about coaching competencies. So there we are in the we're sitting as a community of coaches, and at various stages of our learning and development. And so I would say, well, what's really happening between you and me, Fiona, in terms, if it was a competency, what would it be? And I think it's like a bowl for me. It's like a bowl that holds all the skills that come with coaching, because there are many skills that come with coaching. But what is the bowl that's present that holds the lot?
Okay, I love that image. Yeah, because it's an image that I adore, actually, because it's as a holding space.
Yes.
A place between us.
Yes.
Go on.
It's interesting too, because my hands are open.
Yes.
So there's something embodied about that. You know, it's like maybe if you're willing to, those of you with us, just let your body help you to feel that by opening up the hands and just getting a sense to how that feels. You know, there's this, the body can help us so much sense into something that's psychological. So there's a sense of openness that comes with our connection. There's a sense of presence, as Ram has said. That's the core. That's the piece. And with that presence is safety.
Yes.
And you were saying trust, Fiona.
There's a lot in there, and those are the key elements, aren't they? Trust and safety. Yeah. I just want to breathe again. And would people be willing just to pop into the chat box what that's like? You've even made that invitation.
Maybe whilst, if anybody does want to do that, that's okay. But if not, that's also okay. But it's just a sense of, oh, lovely. No, I'm touched by that. That's beautiful. There's something that we just sat quietly together in silence, Fiona, a few moments ago. But deeply connected. I feel I can feel you in my body. My mind's not whizzing off, what should I say next? How should I be? What model should I put in here? What's the best question to ask now? You know, there's just a presence enables us to just come home to a sense of the body, to just feel our feet, and to trust this emergent process. Trust that we're in this relational field together, and that if we're listening deeply to our experience, we're going to hear stuff. Our heart's going to hear stuff, and we will respond. You know, we don't have to try. And that is something that I think I've learned as a coach over the years, and that we've learned in our relationship, that we don't have to try.
Oh, that's such a relief, isn't it?
It is.
Whenever we sit together, I feel that. Not having to try anymore. The little me is saying, hooray, at last.
Yeah.
So much of life is about trying.
It is. And that comes with, I have to be competent. I've got to tick all the competency boxes. I've got to be a great coach. Like,
yes.
but my sense is that if we are present and we have trust in our relationship, the relationship facilitates the learning.
Yes.
It's the relationship, the safety that's co-created here for both of us. That is what enables us to do our best thinking. That is what opens the heart. It's that piece, that piece.
Opening the heart. Yeah. I mean, I so love the way you articulate these things. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm feeling quite moved now. I'm noticing that. I wonder if that's in your heart and whether it's in with others watching us. I just feel a sense of warmth in my chest and really being touched. Quite touched now.
Ah. There's such richness when we open our hearts to ourselves as well as to one another. This holds all that. And for me, the gesture is holding and reaching towards and then pulling back, like giving and receiving. That kind of balance of both.
I think that's key, Fiona. That talks about the reciprocity or the mutuality. It's the giving and the receiving. And who's the giver and who's the receiver? We lose touch with that, It's like, am I giving? Am I receiving? It's like,
yes.
Yeah.
You don't even think in that way anymore.
No. I'm just conscious that there's some other questions.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Should we?
Let's have a look.
Yeah. Yeah. From Jolanta, I hope I pronounced that right. Do you see that one, Fiona?
I do. I'm just looking at this, yeah. Not worrying what to do next. Trust the relationship. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Bringing us home.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. All these.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Wow.
Hi, ladies. Magda here. I'm sorry to interrupt, but some people are only writing the questions to panelists. So if there's something you like, if you could maybe read it out loud for the rest of attendees, that would be great.
I got it. Okay. I didn't realize that. Thanks for letting us know, Magda. So, do you want to read it, Fiona?
I'll read one or two. Silence can be more eloquent than words. Absolutely.
Beautiful.
No question. It's very full. Yeah. Oh, look at this. The opening of hands was like a safety net holding you.
Oh, beautiful.
That's lovely. Yeah.
I like cocoon as well. It is that sense of, and for me, that is a beautiful metaphor because it's in the cocoon, that's where the transformation happens.
Yes.
That's it, So that's spot on.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Being comfortable in silence, ultimately the goal of being an understanding soul, a living conscious being. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then bring up my awareness, how important that feeling of not being rushed is, not worrying what to do next, trust the relationship, safety and trust. Because that's what's happening with us, Fiona, and that's something that has emerged in time, that as our meditation practice has deepened, so has our capacity to trust emergence. Yes. We didn't know what we were going to talk about today.
No.
We didn't know how it was.
A sort of rough idea, but we didn't know. We didn't know. We trusted that we would stay together to see what would arise.
We did.
Yeah.
And I think that's, again, a muscle that takes time to develop.
Mm.
And it's a, and I think one of the essential pieces is deep personal reflection.
Yeah.
And mindfulness is one of the ways to do that.
And time.
And time.
Not rushing, not grasping.
To get
Got to get it right. Got to get it right.
Yes.
Planning what to say.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Isn't it? Yeah.
That's a biggie.
Mm.
Because I remember, just for a moment, going back to our relationship in the early days, I used to write every word down and send you these long emails. Do you remember? And so that I could make sure I could get it all right. So, and then eventually, over time, I abandoned that and just brought an idea and then trusted this emergent flow. We would dialogue together, and what I needed would emerge.
Jane, Fiona, I just couldn't resist coming in at this point in time.
Yes.
Seeing a few of the comments out here, I just want to connect the dots, as it were.
Okay.
Yolanta talking about the whole issue of not being rushed. And then Fiona, after that, in one to the panelists, she's talking about it'll take time. And then there's another comment from Ashwin about emergence. And then finally, Vinod is talking about in terms of, for us to be able to do this, is it possible? And someone is asking, how long will it take? What just occurred to me was this. I mean, it's like what they talk about enlightenment. Enlightenment or the movement into that unconscious state of competence happens in a moment. It's not something which evolves. It just happens at a point in time. It is very binary. It is there or it is not there. However, having said that, the preparation for that, it happens over a period of time. So we forget that. So in a sense, the way that I would answer so whoever asked that question, it's a beautiful question. How long does it take? It doesn't take any time, but it does.
It's that beautiful paradox.
Yeah, it's a paradox of sorts. So you prepare yourself for that. And then there are multiple things that come together. And so one of the things that I have noticed in coaching is the job of the coach, the really good coach, the master coach, is really to connect the dots. It's very much a right brain activity. The left brain always tends to break it down into bits and pieces, fragmentation, analysis. But if you just move it out, and this I'm experimenting with some groups I'm currently working with, don't say anything. Just share with me what you feel as we talk, or as someone else talks in the class, or whatever. And just that going inside, the self-reflection is something which most of us in our rush, in the desire for performance and for so many other things, we are not comfortable with.
No.
First of all, we don't believe that we have the time. And the second is we sometimes are afraid what we might find inside if we look inside. There's too much of garbage floating around. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just sharing my thoughts in terms of some of these questions, which the depth of feeling and the depth of understanding with which they are coming out here. Someone is talking about the emergence and so on and so forth. It's so powerful, and it's really grasping in a very positive way, not in the sense that Fiona is saying she's a grasping. No, it's a grasping kind of a stuff in terms of the essence of what you're really trying to put out there and be able to flow with it. I found it, I thought I had to comment on it because it's so beautiful to watch that interplay. Unfortunately, in a webinar, we cannot accommodate all of them on the panel, but what's coming through is really remarkable.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I agree. Thank you for that, Ram. Yeah. And actually, I don't know whether you've seen it, Fiona, but there's one comment there from Violetta, which I'd like to say, And just notice, as I say, notice how you feel, Fiona. Here it comes.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, no,
Wait.
I saw
No,
it.
wait. In silence, we realize our true nature and the presence of love.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, Violetta.
That's it.
Realizing our true nature. To love and be loved.
And it's, it's, my sense is that we speak of our whole work is grounded on this, on love. I say that supervision relationship is about love. Coaching relationship is about love.
And when love is present, anything can happen.
It's transformational.
And what is so wonderful, and I thought this when I was on yesterday's webinar when the woman Magda Muck was talking, that we have in our roles as coaches and supervisors an opportunity to wake us all up to love. What could be more important?
And I think just coming back to our relationship, and again, I feel such a lot of strong movement in my chest, and it comes up here, feeling my heart resonating. My heart's doing this. Yeah, and thinking about how we love each other.
Yeah.
But it's that through this growth that we've this process of working together over many years, and all of these pivotal moments that we've experienced, our deepening of mindfulness, interpersonal mindfulness practice, a deepening of an understanding, being able to be in the body, which is where such safety comes from.
Yes.
And that love blossoms from there.
Yes.
And with love, love and fear can't cohabit, can't be together. So where there's love, there is no fear. So when there's love, the learning is optimized.
Yes. And to feel that release from fear to love, that's the journey we've taken.
Indeed.
My soul sister, you are.
Fiona.
My Anakara, my soul friend. Yeah.
My eyes are pricking with tears. Yeah.
And it's so good we can speak of it, because it's often been a taboo word. Yeah.
And I'm noticing as I sit here with you now that my mind is filled with joy, because the ideas are going ding, 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 ding. And it's that we are sitting in a community and we're in a field together, and everybody's contributing to this conversation.
Yes.
Not just you and me.
I feel it.
It's Ram, and it's Magda, and it's everybody who's part of this group.
Yes.
And so we are all in this relational field together as human beings. We're all together. So the ideas that are coming up in my mind are not from just this center here. I'm gathering all the from us being together.
Yes.
That's something about the relational field that we sit in together in our work, when we can open to the relationship.
And my eyes have gone to the chat room again, and this field is so rich.
Oh, there's a good question.
What was the question you spotted?
There's a question from Anuranda, and I hope I've said that right. So forgive me if I haven't. How do we get to have such full trust in each other to allow us to take risks? Are there any steps that one can consciously take to get there?
Well, my sense of this is begin to trust oneself.
Mm-hmm.
That we matter, we belong, we have the right to be here. Would be my sense of beginning to explore what makes it possible. Start with ourselves.
Exactly.
And see what happens, which is what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I would also like to add that self-compassion.
Oh, yes. That is key.
So, because the self-compassion silences the judgmental mind,
Yes.
and the mind that has to get it, and that I have to get it right,
Yes.
and feeling I'm not doing a good job or whatever. And self-compassion for me is about recognizing that I'm never going to get it 100% right. Well, what's right anyway, you know? What's right anyway?
Quite.
So, yeah. So I'm a human being. I'm vulnerable. You're a human being. You're vulnerable. I'm going to mess up. You're going to mess up. So what?
Yeah, the sky won't fall on my head.
No, it's about, and if we can relax into that reality, the beauty is that we give each other permission to be real.
Yes.
With that. And I think that so that's one conscious step that I would recommend, is to take up the practice of self-compassion.
Yes, and to notice when you stop doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like berating oneself.
Exactly.
As I did a bit yesterday when I got an appointment wrong. Ouch. Misread my diary. Yeah. There were so many opportunities to get things wrong, because we have that binary thinking, don't we? Right or wrong. And that idea of self-compassion is, this is how it is. And we can't undo what we've done. It's just how it is. And I've learned that with you. So that's part of trusting, isn't it?
It is.
Trusting and acknowledging and believing in oneself. And treating one another as well as oneself with such tenderness.
Yes.
That we really feel it in our body.
Yes.
And, oh, at last.
Yes.
I'm home. We're home together. Until the next time.
Yes. But I think there is one thing, I'm just going back to our case study. There was just looking for, there's so many comments here. Wow. Oh, beautiful. It's like the safety of a mother's lap.
Yes.
Especially when the coach is in a difficult situation. That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
The safety of being held and loved.
Oh, beautiful. And there's another one. How you both seem so equal. How the relationship has evolved. Yes, that's it too. You know, we talked about being out of roles. I don't feel like I'm in a role here. Fiona.
No.
It feels like you're not either. We just human beings meeting in this place.
Yeah. Yes. Sharing feelings and ideas and yeah.
Let's see if there's anything else.
There's a particular point you might just take a look at. I think from Ajay
Yes.
Goel. I think it's a very, very good question. When the two of you are talking, it won't seem easy. It's all possible, but if let's say one of you was a CEO or a CXO leader, and then that person has no interest in being mindful or mindless or whatever. So then what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I comment? Is that okay? What I found working with executives, and I don't do much of that now, is that actually what happens when you ask somebody in a new coaching relationship, what is it you really need from our relationship that would really feel it was something you really wanted, that perhaps together we could do something together that would meet a need of yours, what would that be? Just ask the question. And you know, I don't talk about mindfulness or mindlessness or attunement or emergence, but be in that moment of inquiry with somebody. That's my thought on that.
I'd like to add to that, Fiona, and that and share an example of when I failed. I was really naive, and I was really trying hard, and I failed terribly. I was working with and I had the opportunity to work with a CFO of an organization, and he was mega stressed. I mean, he couldn't sleep. He had insomnia because his mind was the whole time. So his poor nervous system was so frantic. And when I sat with him, I could feel it. And I thought, well, I know what I can do. I can guide him into a meditation practice. Nay, it failed terribly because his body was so like this, he couldn't sit still. So what I learned from that and how I might respond to that question, to add to what you said, Fiona, is being grounded in your own presence, being really rooted in your own body, and really offering that person presence. Yes. Really just being present, feeling. That's the biggest thing that you might be able to offer that person, is just to be steady in your attention. And then something might shift.
Yes.
That would be my response. What do you think?
What I'm reminded of, and it's the word resonance has triggered something, which is that actually when you and I were gradually able to become present with ourselves, there was that resonance at a limbic level, you know, all the neuroscience stuff about limbic resonance.
Yes.
That we can entrain together, as it were, to pick up what we've created in the field together, which is what you were saying earlier about everybody on this call, on this webinar. We start to fill the field with the richness of safety and love and trust. And some of the comments and questions are revealing that. It's lovely.
Yes.
Really lovely. Somebody's saying animals have the sense of not being threatened so easily. Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt, but just a point here. I mean, there are several questions of people asking if the other person is not mindful, what then happens? I think what Jane, you said, and Fiona, you followed up, is I think something that I wanted to say myself is absolutely the truth. Very often what happens to us is that we get caught in that pressure of the other person. The limbic resonance, unfortunately, works as a counter-transference rather than a transference from us. Yeah? So the CEO getting pressed and whatever else it is. So you feel on the edge of it. I have to perform. Now, is it possible for the coach to let go that need to perform and sit in front of someone like Fiona? Okay, fine. If you want, you come into my space. I'm not shifting from my space. And if you can just do that, and one is, of course, you said the limbic resonance, the mirror neurons, all that kind of thing. I think they are real and they happen.
Yes.
And also in quantum physics, there is this concept of entanglement. When Fiona used the word field, that's what came to my mind, that it's almost like two electrons, they get entangled, and wherever they go, that entanglement not localized, it's random, it stays everywhere. So something does happen in our chemistry and physics. So I think people have to have the courage to try it.
Yes.
So we all ask hypothetical questions. Oh, what if? So my submission to all, not as a challenge, but a genuine request, is to just try it. Take the person who is the most non-mindful person I was about to say mindless person, but non-mindful person that you can find who's under so much of stress, and just be there, center yourself before you go and stay in that space and refuse to move out of there and see what happens. And I do think miracles will happen, honestly, in most cases. Because CEOs have got there because they are smart, because they're intelligent.
Yes.
But they have their own insecurities. There are deep issues.
Yes.
The more confident, more stressed he appears on the outside, the deeper he's troubled inside. So how do you reach that point? And like someone said, can you, in a way, bring that mother's lap? Even if you're a man, it's a little difficult. But father's lap or whatever it is, can you bring that protective space for them to sit there as a cocoon? Whatever.
Yes, yes. It actually brings up something that is also really relevant to our relationship, Fiona, and that is the helpful Harriet wanted to fix me.
Yeah.
And maybe there's something, and I remember in my early days as a coach, I wanted to fix my clients. You know, I remember we talked about that.
Yeah,
I took too much responsibility. I have to do something effective now, so that they can change. But so this is quite a shift from that to letting go of the need to fix that person, to do anything, and rather to just be there and present to that person, and then let this, what Ram was saying, this biochemistry, the metaphysics, whatever it is, let that begin to work its own.
Yes.
Because it will.
Yeah, there is a kind of magic in that.
There is.
And I'm aware that I spotted something earlier in the chat room about, you know, can coaches be able to learn to connect with themselves and each other, perhaps on their courses, so that what we're describing we've been able to do is about a deep level of connection. But unless people are helped to discover that that matters in our work, they're not going to learn it. And it doesn't come out of a textbook. It comes out of an experience.
That's right.
And in a way, sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I interrupted your flow, Fiona. You carry on.
Yeah. And in a way, we've learned together what we're describing today has allowed us to become who we really are. And the value of this for our clients is inestimable. Oh, that's a big word. Oh, I love big words. Anyway, but it's really important, isn't it, that we learn by doing and experiencing, not by telling. Like finding a way to be, a way of being. That's what we've discovered, isn't it? And we've helped each other with that every step of the way.
We have, yeah.
And I think courses and training programs attend to this. They attend to the being of people.
Yeah.
To free coaches from the need to fix. And
exactly.
perform. And that's right. We can get caught in organizational cultures and pressures to perform. And then what if we don't perform? We'll lose the contract.
Oh, that's a hard one.
So hard, so hard.
That's a hard one. Yeah, so how much time do we have, Fiona?
I think about another 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes,
yeah. Right?
Yeah. So what else needs to be said?
What needs to be said?
Shall we have a look at the questions quickly?
Yeah.
Any more? That's a good one. So many interesting questions. There's one from Fiona, and she says, is it easy to form between genders?
Wait a minute, where is that?
Love between genders. And hope doesn't sound a bit off. It's not a bit off at all. that this feeling that's here
Oh yes. Oh,
is
I
it
got the
possible
question.
to form
Yes.
between genders?
Mm. It doesn't sound a bit off at all, actually,
No,
because
not at all.
I think what we're in the territory here of, is that there's so many different forms of love. And I love the Greek agape, brotherly, sisterly love. I mean, there's no doubt there have been some terrible mistakes made by coaches and supervisors and therapists all over the world who get engaged in erotic love, which unless you spot it, it can be really dangerous and actually very unsettling, which is why supervision can be really helpful when folk are prepared to say, oh my God, I find this woman or this man attractive sexually. What am I going to do? But sometimes people are not prepared to admit this, and it can be really horrifyingly dangerous. So I think what we're talking about here, you and I, is brotherly, sisterly love that comes from being open and trusting and non-judgmental. Actually, Jane, I don't fancy you, actually.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, bugger. Never have, actually.
Oh, okay, Fiona, thank you. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, dear Jane. Anyway.
Yeah, so I've lost my train of thought now after that. There was something I wanted to say.
Yeah, okay.
I've remembered now. My sense is that this work is about coming back to ourselves and our relationship to ourselves. And that if we can, it starts here. It doesn't start out there, it starts here. And that through mindfulness practice, through interpersonal mindfulness practice, through self-compassion practice, there's this growing capacity to accept this one for how she is. And then it fosters a deeper sense of safety in the relationship, and then love just naturally blossoms from that. It's not something that's cultivated. It's not something that comes from our biology, if you like.
Our ego.
No, it's something that just blossoms from this meeting in the present moment. There it is. It's just it's there. We don't have to try to cultivate it. It just happens. And it feels expansive, it feels inclusive, it feels warm, it feels grounded, it feels, there's non-attachment to it. It's not, you have to behave a certain way, Fiona, otherwise I won't love you. It's non-conditional.
That's right.
And it's emerges from the meeting in the present moment.
Beautiful, beautiful.
When a sense of roles fall away, when a sense of gender falls away as well.
Yes, because it's about human beings.
That's right.
Our humanity. And now so often I meet and you meet folk who've lost connection with their essential humanity.
Yes.
That capacity to love and be loved.
Yes.
I probably quoted this to you because it meant such a lot to me. One of my therapy trainers said to me, what we all need is to know ourselves, be ourselves, and love ourselves. Lovely.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Dear man who said that.
I would say, know ourselves, love ourselves, be ourselves.
Oh, put it that way around. Yeah, that's lovely. I like that adaptation.
Yeah,
Good.
because through the loving we can be who we are.
Be who we are. That's
Yeah,
right.
frees us.
Self-compassion. Yeah. Lovely. I better write that down. Jane. Jane's wisdom. Wonderful. Oh. So again, I'm conscious of time, and I know you are, Jane. Ram, what do we need to be doing at this point?
Nothing really. Just continue as you are. So, what comes up for me in the last few minutes of the discussion that you've had, and something on the chat box itself, and the point that you made, everything ultimately, whatever my experience has been, is about this, your ability to love yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself. All these are whatever word that we want to use. I think they all come together in one place. And Jane, as you rightly said, and then you become yourself and you start being yourself. The question is, from your experience, what is it that can lead us into that space of unconditionally loving ourselves first? Forget about unconditionally loving other people. That comes next. The problem starts with the fact that we have self-doubts. We wish to be validated. We are not complete. And we do not love ourselves. We do not believe ourselves. We do not trust ourselves. So what is that first step that would lead into this space? So if in the next 9 minutes, if you could cover that, that could perhaps be very valuable.
Okay.
Shall I start?
Yeah.
I think recognizing actually that we're self-critical, we have doubt about all that we do and how we look. And I mean, God, our culture is full of that stuff that makes us question, am I tall enough, thin enough, clever enough? And so to recognize that huge push to be other than who we are, and actually sit quietly and reflect on it, maybe write about it, find a dear friend to talk with about it, and discover here's another human being who's struggling to know themselves and love themselves in the midst of all this nonsense that's going on in our society. You know, I better have Botox, I better lose weight, I better buy different clothes. It's ghastly. So to notice that's happening, and as I say, find a dear friend to share that with, and begin to be able to speak of it.
Yeah, to come out from behind the mask.
Yes.
And it's a tender process of revealing oneself. It's very tender because we have defenses for a reason.
Yeah.
You know? And many of us are you and I have spoken about our childhood wounding in our relationship, and most of us are wounded in childhood. So it's about a tender process of slowly revealing ourselves, and first of all to ourselves and then to others. And I wanted to add something to that that's I find really helpful, and that's a self-compassion practice. So it's like when I'm feeling in a lot of pain, or I'm afraid, or maybe there's a judgment going or whatever, I will drop in, I recognize, oh, this is a moment of suffering. I go, yeah. So I acknowledge that I'm struggling right now. I feel the inner judge or whatever it is. And then I will reflect for a moment on the reality that it's the human condition. So I'm not alone.
Yes.
And immediately my mind opens up. Instead of being so caught in this small box of fear, it begins to open up because I'm connected to humanity.
Yes.
And then the third would be, oh, I wish myself well, you know. May I be strong, or may I be less judgmental of myself, or may I be kind to myself. So those 3 steps I find so helpful as a process towards more self-acceptance, and that comes from just to name it, the self-compassion, mindful self-compassion course by Christopher Goma and Kristen Neff.
Yes.
If you're interested, it's a wonderful program, and it's helped me tremendously to become more real. So
Lovely, Jane, lovely. And to know that we are all wounded at some level. Some deeper and some not so deep. And that wounding creates these feelings, these self-critical feelings. Thank you for that, describing that 3 stages. You're a one, aren't you? You're a wonderful one.
So are you.
No, you're both wonderful. I think it's amazing. And that last bit that you said, Jane, is absolutely right. We all are wounded in some sense or another. And in my learning, one of the things, apart from various other learnings that helped me, was a process called Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian healing system.
Oh, yeah.
Where you take basically responsibility for whatever is happening outside of you, and then cleanse yourself, and in that process help cleansing the limbic resonance or whatever that happens beautifully. So there are multiple in each of our cultures. There are some very, very powerful processes. But the first, I think, the trigger is for us to accept ourselves that, look, we have a problem. As coaches, like Hippocrates said, physician, heal thyself. The coaches have to first heal themselves
Exactly.
before they start coaching. The problem is we don't. And we go there and think, oh, I got a qualification, I've got a 3-letter label, and so I'm good. It's not. It takes a long time for us to be. So thank you very, very much. It's been a phenomenal conversation, as the chat box reveals. It's not about a set of slides and whatever it is. Such a beautiful stream of consciousness that you took us through the journey. Tremendously, we're all better for it. Thank you very, very much. So Magda, let you close, please. Thank you.
Thank you to the speakers and to everyone for attending. I must say that I'm feeling, I don't know how to describe it, because part of me wants to say a bit anxious because I'm doing a session tomorrow that kind of ties into what you just talked about. We're having a panel discussion on applications of coaching in daily life and focusing on self-coaching and the kind of growth that you experience yourself versus just learning how to be a coach. Because for me personally, that's what's happened. And this whole finished bit about, you know, everyone's wounded, etc. I mean, my palms are sweaty right now, and I'm feeling a bit of pressure right here because part of it is, you're right. The other part of it is, you know, I was going into tomorrow's session thinking about all the great things that have happened to me personally in relationships and how I look at myself because of the things I've learned in my my coach training. And now I'm kind of thinking, crap, I've got a lot of work to do still because my palms are going to be sweating right now if So this is a good thing. We have to challenge ourselves, and I think that's what's really cool. Whenever I hear Fiona and now Jane, is you have this comfort and this peace when you listen, but then at the same time you're like, oh yeah, like it's okay to feel uncomfortable. It's okay to kind of to get there. Just take a deep breath, one day at a time, and yeah, like I feel uncomfortable right now. Palms are sweaty, heart is pounding a little bit, my eyes are watering a little bit, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's why we're here.
Okay. Yes.
So super.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much. This is being recorded. It will be on our blog. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying. It will be on our YouTube channel. So thank you everyone so much for being here and for being here with us. Please come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day for every session we have for more wonderful people like Fiona and Jane and Ram and me, because I can also say that self-love, right?
Brilliant. Thank you all.
Thank you for
Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thanks,
Bye. Take care.
Wonderful.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye.